strong entry, including Porsche, who are making an all-out effort to add a further victory. Tremendous interest centers around the aerofoils fitted to the 908s and the new 4.5-litre 917s, which are said to contravene the FIA regulations made hurriedly after the Monaco Grand Prix.
When you gave me the call and said you'd like to do a piece on the 908 Longtail, it's like if I could walk into an empty room every single day and have one single car sitting in the middle of that room, that would be the 908 Longtail. In the 60s, the fiberglass Porsches really captivated me. The 904 first, but then the 906 came along, and the 906 came along and it was captivating because it was something different. Along comes the 908. It got bulkier, more physical, and then somebody left the front end the same and literally pulled on the back end. Suddenly they were like sculpted against the wind. Pictures of long-tail cars were so different because that was a car built specially to go really fast.
No respect around here.
Most museums are graveyards of industry, places where history goes to be still. But at Revs, there's a different philosophy. Active matter.
You climb over that threshold, you settle into the seat, and then fire it up. You're in the epicenter of what Mr. Collier's called the active matter moment.
It's the idea that a car is not a static object, but a living entity that requires human interaction to truly exist.
Every car here has the capability of dropping onto a circuit and showing what it was designed to do.
The Porsche 908 Longtail is the crown jewel of this philosophy. To maintain it, Revs must balance its role as a historical artifact with its reality as a 200-mile-per-hour machine. To keep the 908 Longtail active, Revs must maintain the complex flat-8 engine, a masterpiece of engineering that shared pistons and valves with the later 917.
Being able to drop into it, and you just all of a sudden feel this car move forward in a way that's just like magical. And the noise when this car came alive was so visceral because the clacking and the moving of all the fuel injection and the things that moved around it, it just was so special sounding.
Driving it at our target, that was the first time that I'd sat in it since 1969.
This particular 908 Longtail is a legend of endurance. In 1969, Brian Redman and Joe Siffert drove this car to victory at the 1,000 kilometers of Spa, averaging a staggering 149 miles per hour.
Porsche engineering was unbelievable. Unfortunately, the handling on the 908 Longtail just wasn't great.
Maintenance for driving requires understanding the car's original flaws.
We know now that it was lack of downforce on the back. At Spa, we'd be doing about 200 miles an hour down the master straight, trying to notice everything that is on the road. You're looking for bits of paper, anything like that on the road, watching people at the sides of the road. So we carried on.
One of the most difficult parts of maintaining the 908 for the track is its synchro mesh gearbox. Porsche insisted on using them to test technology for their road cars. But for the drivers, they were slow and fragile.
The other thing which really hampered Porsche with the 908 and the 917 was the insistence on using synchromesh gearboxes instead of racing gearboxes, because they were very slow. You had to be so careful changing gear. It wasn't like that with the Ferrari. You go, you do it like this, not to break the gearbox, the synchromesh. And so here I am in that valuable long-tail 908. But anyway, it was okay, it was great.
Thank you very much, boys.
It was worth the smile.
Yeah, it's only 55 years since I drove it. It's good.
That was fun. Yes, sir. That's amazing. Very nice.
Yeah, it's fine. Very good.
So neat. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
That was wonderful to see. Thank you.
It was very nice. Runs great.
So good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you as always.
To maintain this active status, Revs follows a rigorous program of exercise. This is not just for show. It's a mechanical necessity to keep the 3-liter flat-8 engine and its complex systems healthy, while adding a little more patina to its history. After an outing of exercise and maintenance, the 908 Longtail is returned to its home in the museum gallery.
You're just in awe of what's sitting on the ground here. This isn't just a static display. It's either just come off the track or just out of the transporter. That's a visual moment. What defines it is that there's such a feeling of being in the moment with each car. It's not a lot of shininess, a lot of over-finished or over-displayed. I'm seeing it in that time of its day rather than a modern presentation of it.
Displaying the 908 is an art form. Revs ensures the car is presented with a humble, authentic presence.
Holding a camera, looking through the viewfinder, framing an image, that process was something really special to me. All this big space, and then we bring it down to this little 35 millimeter frame and give people a window into a moment. I love that process. I was a photographer and a driver. I've lived this whole scene vicariously through the postings and pictures through the years, so this is pretty special to be here. It felt like a full circle moment.
Sitting there with hands on the wheel and looking back to the days of so long ago, in 1969, and of winning what was a great Spa race, and getting fastest lap, and having the most enormous post-race celebrations. And the effort that went into it, it was an unbelievable piece of engineering. The 908 was a great part of Porsche history.
Whether it's being admired for its sculpted lines or pushed to the limits on a circuit, the 908 Longtail remains what it was always meant to be: active matter.